Hello everybody, welcome to History of Communities. I'm sitting here with Olivier, one of the grandfathers of one of the communities in La Palma, and we will talk story, as they say it in Hawaii. We'll be talking about the origins and what it meant to him and to the rest of the tribe. Hola, querido Olivier. So it started with permaculture, you said?
Yeah, because Zoe, the mother of my children, of my children, she studied permaculture a lot back in Australia.
Oh, so she was there and she studied.
Yeah,
first time.
She went twice, really focused permaculture. So when she came back to Spain, to Europe, she really wanted to establish something. We're gonna speak a bit in English for a while. Little.
We can switch around. We can do German or Spanish.
and so we were looking for a finca, and then when we found this place, we saw that this place was covering all the necessity, and so as permaculture proposed is to permaculture proposed to have many people or people living together to reduce the
workload.
The workload, and also our footprint, our ecological footprint. So more we are, for biological, more we are, and less and easier is the job, etc. So directly, as soon as we bought this place, we started to propose to people who had made a permaculture course or were interested in permaculture to spend time with us.
Okay, and that was throughout Europe, everywhere you spread the word everywhere, or just here on the island?
Just here on the island.
Okay. Yeah. Just so we know, what was your background back then? Also, what were you working before you became a permaculture farmer?
Oh, well, many things, but let's say since 7, I felt in the soup when I was a child. So, okay. So we had to get just before and meanwhile also we had a bakery, typical wood oven bakery.
And you built the oven and everything.
Yeah.
You're a good constructor. Everybody knows you on the island. Everybody knows.
Yeah, I love this the coop,
adobe and stuff.
Yeah, and cupola. How do you say?
Cupola.
Dome.
A dome
and all
structures.
That. Yeah, and I was already building with clay and with natural materials. It's very long time. Then I think it's important to have a modest life, but with a lot of activities, And
you're a musician too, right? So you were
also a musician.
So you wanted this also to be something that is vibrant with music and.
Yeah. And so directly we started. It was the old house, but we decided first to build a little house for us.
This is the first house you built?
Yeah, that in Pachamama.
In Pachamama. You designed it? Because it's beautiful. Look,
so many
levels you did.
Yeah. Oh, modern design. It was a little bit on the like this. No, here, now, bam, like this.
You actually created it while
you were created it really. Yeah.
Beautiful.
And so we installed many teepees, a couple of teepees for the people to stay, and then we work with a woofer and slowly. So the idea was to make a center of permaculture,
so that people would come here to learn permaculture.
Yeah, exactly. But what happened that at the same time we had children, and these children we want them to go to have education that is worth that, So we're sending them to Waldorf, and Waldorf school is taking a lot of is asking you
a lot of money. And is there a Waldorfschule in
not anymore? Tal cual, no.
But it was by then.
It was by then.
Where was that?
That was in different place, but in El Valle.
El Valle.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so that was taking you know, space from the community, because it's another community, really. So, mira quién ha venido.
Hallo.
Hola, Talia.
Hallo Talia, servus.
¿Qué tal?
Die kleine Talia ist da hineingekommen. Wir sprechen gerade ein bisschen über Pachamama, allerdings auf Englisch. Verstehst du ein bisschen Englisch?
Ganz bisschen.
Ganz bisschen. Na da.
¿Tú tienes hambre o ya comiste, amor?
Sí, yo comí.
Ya comiste. Vale. Entonces, ¿te quedas conmigo entonces hasta viernes?
Sí.
Okay. Talia bleibt da. Hugo muss zurück. In and out, like in a community. Somebody comes, somebody goes.
And
So you had to concentrate more now on your children, but the project of permaculture still was present.
Yeah. It was present. It was
people
present.
came.
And people
answered.
came.
Okay.
And so our idea was to make courses, to propose courses. You know, 1 day course, a 1 weekend, 1 full week, even 1 month and a half. And that was working. It was going on.
People came here for the course and were living here while they were
exactly.
But then they would leave again. They would not stay and create the permacultural community with you. They would be just guests for the course.
Exactly.
Okay, that was the
Even
idea.
though sometimes it was like one, you know, say, oh, I would love to stay here, and he was spending more time here.
Okay.
But you know, like they say in the books of community, like the first point of community is like if one owner buy a land and then open his land to people to make a community, it won't work.
It will not work. Okay, and you
In
experienced
fact,
that. You experienced that also a little bit firsthand. Okay, yeah. What do you think is the main reason?
The main reason is very simple. Is at the moment of, you know, after that people are spending, I don't know, because some people also were coming and saying, oh, you're doing, we would love to do that with you, and we would love to have one space, and so we allowed that. As a matter of fact, many space here have been built by other people, and but at the, you know, after 6 months, 1 year, when the end of the full moon,
this high feeling of yes, we are doing something new. Yeah,
we're coming to the point of having to deal to
really go into the flesh.
yeah. Then it was always happening the same thing. The people were saying, yeah, but you are the owner. So anyway, you will always have the last word. So we are going away.
Yeah. So they wanted to be really participating and co-creating, and they wanted to have a more say, but they felt like they could not.
Exactly. Yeah. And also because we didn't want to split legally the land. So what we are proposing always is to buy more land around, like they did in Los Lomitos. What happened? It's here more expensive than around Los Lomitos. In Los Lomitos, you know, there suddenly people could buy a piece of land for 2,000, 5,000. But here it was not this. So people were, they were squatting around, and then many people didn't want that. They just want to be with us and live with us, and maybe they were not like really like people with a strong, clear idea, because people with strong, clear idea, you know, they want to apply them. They want to apply them, and they don't. And maybe they're not ready to wait that the owner are saying yes or no. And I understand it. I understand it completely. So really, we were not really exactly doing everything necessary to make growing the community as a center, because the land, because the owning of the land. And so, and then at one point, I really think that something very important in the life is it's the trust, trusting
between each other.
Each other, no. So I rather first trust and then see what happens. And well, that didn't give problem to me, but many people they had problem because they were like coming and then saying, "Oh, can we stay?" And then I say, "Yes." And then after a few months, they were like having problem with the new one.
So somebody came also,
Yeah,
and so there
and
was
so-
there was a storming phase.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I was little sad, and so and then my family at one point, you know, the children were growing, and they start to be like many people. Oh, papi, there is too much people. Oh, there is always new people. Always new people. We are getting tired with new people, and
Your
so,
own family was a little overwhelmed.
Yeah,
With
more the children, no, and so that was happening also, and then what happened? Then we had, and then we start to have the people who were most coming and staying were women with children.
They wanted shelter.
Mother,
They were looking for shelter.
Exactly, shelter, and people maybe also with some difficulties in the life, you know, and making a little confusion between encountering the family that they never had with community.
So they were seeing community, saw a family that they never had, and all of a sudden they saw that it was not this. It's not quite.
Yeah,
the same.
they were expecting from the community to give
Everything.
what the family could not give them, and that there were many. Many
So
of them.
they saw something and were expecting also from the community what their family in their time in their town could not give them. Yes, makes sense. Makes sense.
And that start to be many of them. It's like the majority of half the people staying here they were here because it was easy, because it was very cheap. You know, people could stay here for almost nothing. We're asking like the minimum, really, the absolutely the minimum.
What were you asking? What was the deal for people who would come? What was
They depend. There is the people we know strong and able to do things. It was in exchange of hours. Like woofing system.
working for?
Yeah, then other people who mother with children, then we were asking money, you know, to cover and so yeah. But also in the middle of that we had marvelous time. Also we were organizing a lot of activity, cultural activity.
Yeah. What was your thing?
Music for sure, music jamming, concerts, and activity for children. Like you know, we had a typical the cultural day. So since the morning it was activity for children, then eating all together. People bring their food, and in the afternoon we had workshop for adults about some art or yoga or some activity. And then in the evening we had we were selling food. And then we had a couple of concerts.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
How
And then
long?
the jams.
Many days or just one day?
Yeah, well, weekend usually.
Weekend.
Yeah.
How
one
many
day,
people
yeah.
were here for that?
Oof, that could range like many.
Really, like hundreds?
Many.
Hundreds?
Hundreds? No, but often.
A little lower than 100, yeah?
Yeah. Which
So
is
it was
lots
a
of
vibrant place. Everybody was coming to
place,
match
yeah,
Mama.
yeah. Then also we had like, you know, we were calling it tra alto. Because, you know, in Spanish, the word trabajar means working, for sure. But if we split it, it's trabajar, which would mean
to go down. Bajo is going down, yes.
So, you know, we
wanted to elevate it.
Yeah, so it was
altarlo.
So it was this... and so every year for maybe 3-4 years we had in February, March, like this, we had 1 month of full community life with this tra alto. And so people were coming, and in the morning were working either gardening, but more likely building, you know, building somehow. And then in the afternoon, all kind of activities.
And how would you organize that? Everybody would have like a job for something. Somebody for the kitchen and somebody.
Yeah, exactly. That was quite well organized, and it was working good, and you know, sometimes difficult, but rather like funny and.
Were you or your wife doing this, the administrating of the programs and all these things?
Together, what happened that my wife was, because she was the one like making more money with her job, so very often she was out. very, very
she
often.
wasn't. She couldn't be. She couldn't participate.
She could not
Okay, so you were
participate, yeah.
kind of holding space for.
Yeah. And then, and then the course of building with clay, and then slowly what happened. Then it was for sure like there were also many women, and here I don't know somehow, I
So
started.
there are relationships are happening. Constantly,
relationship
and this
happening.
brings envy or maybe a little bit celos, as we say. There's always a little bit of a competition going. So how did you deal with all these human emotions that come up?
This human emotion.
Did you have like some kind of healing circles or talking circles?
Yeah, we had a lot talking circle, but the talking circle didn't really fix the
problem. People were just talking, but then nothing was happening after. Nobody.
Yeah, I didn't have enough education to really to run a community. We were not like doing like a extra job on the side to spiritual job.
Yes.
Or knowing better how to deal with community. Yeah, we had books, but. And so, like the typical problem of communities start to really appear. People who were living in the central kitchen, and other really, making gardens, cutting wood, and all that. But and then at one point, my kids became big. They were like teenagers, and they start to be really have absolutely no interest in what was going on here, because it was too much for them. Maybe for many 10 years, 10, 12 years like this, it was little too. I guess
lots of people, all the
lots
time.
of people, and finding that even the house was the last
resort
zone where they were protected, and so they were not enjoying Pachamama anymore. It was just like going up when it's hot, going down is very long, and so losing a little bit the sacred fire, and then my wife she found a very good job to be a real teacher, 5 days a week, living. She was out all the time, and then in summer when there were also many people coming, but also he always was going out to take care of her family and doing other things. And then another woman appeared, and with this other woman, Kija, then I decided that it was a little too much for me to live here, and it was not enough community, and all the good reason when you want to.
So I suppose it became really a little more destructional once you and your wife started to be a couple, right? Stopped being a couple. So when all this what life happens, she's in this place, new people come in, you fall in love, and then all of a sudden the mama and the papa were not together anymore, and this is where everything started
and
to
in
crumble.
6 months
it crumbled
completely down.
Before that, when you were harmonious, everything was quite strong, right? Everything was it was challenging, but it was stable. So what would you think would be, if you would give advice to somebody who is founding a community, what should they establish in the sense of knowledge or experience in order to keep a community safe and long running, so that it maybe can last even for a second or third generation?
To have first a spiritual help, that there is like a spiritual job.
It's like a medicine man or a medicine woman in the community, or having the knowledge, the spiritual knowledge.
Like following some kind of spiritual path.
So that it's that everybody kind of prays into the right into the same direction. Okay, interesting. This common spirituality is to be a very important part.
And then talking about permaculture, many times we had the proposition that the people who come here to live only we accept only the one who had follow permaculture course.
So the values of permaculture were important, and they should have the basic knowledge of permaculture.
Exactly, that we have the same language.
Yes.
That we don't have to, convince no one. That the people who are coming here is really to apply and not to see if they are interested or not.
Okay, so the commitment was also important.
Commitment. But that is hard to ask in an island like La Palma, where majority of people who coming from out, they will spend time here, but at the end they will leave. So people really like deciding to live here in the island. One from 100.
Yes,
you know,
they come here seasonally, but they don't stay like all the time. Exactly, and this is a different thing.
And then another. What I think is very important also is that everyone has a little part of the owning of the land.
So that they know that that there's a certain terrain which is really theirs, and nobody can take it away from them.
Exactly, and they can do whatever they want there, and they feel safe, that there is not this fear that when I do something wrong, then Olivier is away, they're gonna
they're gonna kick me out.
We never kick nobody out, but sometimes we stop to be super friendly, you know.
So
but even though these people had a lot of capacity, but. So I think this is very important, that everyone has somehow a part either of the land, either of the
privacy, you know.
Privacy, and
even if they rent it, they don't have to buy it. But even if they rent it, it's theirs, and they can be like really.
Even if it's small, but I think this is important. Then also to not. You know, it's difficult to say that, but accepting everyone, having the door very open, it's beautiful. People are very happy. Many people could save their life here, not really save their life, but suddenly, trusting humanity again. Someone opened the door.
There is a shelter.
For me.
There's actually people caring and
so
giving me.
That was very nice, but it was a little challenging for us. I mean, even though here it was. No drugs, no alcohol. Absolutely no drugs, no alcohol. Well, ganja, ganja and tobacco. Ganja, tobacco, coffee.
The sacred plants, the medicine plants.
But we're not doing this ceremony with all these power plants. No, and alcohol, absolutely not.
Not.
So, because we know already what happened with alcohol. So.
In the good times, when you and Zoe were really still strong, and there was conflict, how did you resolve it? What was the way how you would resolve conflict? If, for instance, somebody had a problem with the new ones, or talking circle. Yeah, and afterwards, because talking is just making things a little more harmonious. But did you follow certain rules? Did you have an agenda of how to behave in certain spaces, like in common spaces?
We had that.
So it was like a rule book that you had,
some kind of rule book. Here we were putting a lot of importance on the anarchist philosophy. That we are really trusting that everyone is able to by themselves found see and understand what was the need of the others.
Was that working out?
It's
more or less,
because people are really not used to having to decide everything by themselves. Many people are somehow, even though if they're but they prefer to receive orders and structures. But so at the end we had to do some structures. Also we had a community car that was very beautiful in the theory, and it was helping a lot of people, but people are many people are not used to really take care of the community stuff, and so that was giving.
So the community stuff was always treated worse than the private stuff, I suppose. Was it like that? That the community car was
a little bit. Then some people were accepting the rules, some others were not accepting the rules, even if it was rules really very low you know, just and so. But they were doing marvelous things on the other on the other hand. They were really able to do stuff that only them could do. So it was not easy. So what else I would propose to the people? I think that you must spend time here. And also something that we never did, but when we did, it was working. Is to have a community job. That means activity, maybe art and craft, easy, where everybody can enter. You know, like learning and then enter, and then with this job, we can take this and then make a community money.
Okay, so basically you're producing something, beautiful things, and this would be then sold otherwise, and everybody would kind of participate somehow in it, so it would be kind of their contribution.
Exactly. So we did it with bakery. That was working good.
Yeah, because
we did it
eat.
with
people don't like art, but they love to eat.
We did it with these cultural days that I was talking about. It was, you know, we were sharing some part of the money that we're doing. We were also very open for that people could bring their own workshop, and that was helping. That was really helping because everyone felt that he could make you know a little contribution and receiving
also something. Yeah. So you see also for your experience also was that the economical part of a community that contributes to something that also money comes in is helping
but more for the symbolic. It was really never. I mean, we had so little money that we could never like fix stuff. You see, we don't have the typical hot water, solar hot water, you know, because it's €1,000, and we could never put together €1,000 to have hot water. So we are really like extremely low in money, little too low.
But still, you could manage to build a lot of things. You still had the handcraft of people that was able to...
Because because we're always using like this house was already made and we didn't spend €200.
Really? So this is the man, but the rest was handcraft, right? So your manpower, your know-how, what you knew.
Exactly. You see, everything is either natural, either recycled, either after with the year, we could find some money and then make it little stronger with bought material. But at the beginning it was, and that I think that's what also many people liked. It was really like, wow, here it was made with €100. And and a full family is living
it is inside, it is also a story that changes a little bit the point of view of how much money you need to be able to survive, right? So it's possible with a minimum of money still to have a beautiful lifestyle, to have something quite healthy, I think.
Healthy, that for sure.
Natural materials.
The gardens were importance also, even though as a permaculture finca we had really awful garden, because many people come here, majority of people come here wanting to learn. The people who know, either they going and they're making part of something starting where they have their own clear space. But people who know what they're doing, they don't just want to be like one of many.
They want to have they want to have a say in their
because they know what they're doing. So here, people who knew what they're doing, they usually spend little time here, do what they can during 2 weeks, 2 months. But then after they go away anyway, like, the only one who know what he's doing is living. Because all the reason we say before.
Well, thank you, Olivier. Is there anything you say that was like the absolute highlight, the absolute most beautiful thing that you ever experienced in this time?
The whole story.
The whole story. You would not do it any other way. You would keep.
I would put more effort in it. I would say to if I would change something, I would found a way of bringing money without having to going out and to spend more time here
on the terrain.
I see that more we were spending like the owners, but the owners, if we had spent more time here, it could have been a little bit better, but we had to go, or we decide continuously to go because also the family had other interests than just having a beautiful community with a lot of people out, many times.
A village, but there was a life out of the village too, especially for the children. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Olivier. That was very, very enlightening, and I hope you guys enjoyed it too.